So we're going to start off this episode on our first topic. It's just an overall recap of EWC, the Esports World Cup. And we're going to start with the club championship points. We've been keyed in onto this for the last few weeks because we found this to be the most exciting part of the tournament, perhaps. Maybe that's just my words. Nick might not agree. But we've got 2 weeks worth of points to update you on through this overall challenge. And straightforward, the leaderboard's right here. Team Falcons with a commanding lead at 4,100 total points. They've had a lot of representation in a bunch of different games that have competed so far, but that also means that Team Falcons has shown up and showed out to get these points.
I think they're cheating. I think they're using esports enhancement drugs in order to get all these points because they're like they're over double. They're over double all everybody else, man. Yeah, they've been really we'll say on fire, right? Like absolutely on fire, going through a whole tear through everybody else.
Yeah, here's the full board here. We got Team Liquid coming in number 2, and they're not even close at 1,400 points, nearly 1,500 points. It is what it is, but like as far as medals go or trophies go, they're not really far behind. It's really the difference of like 2 golds, 1 silver here. Those different. I can't remember the word. Point values. There we go. The difference of those point values really are just 2 gold medals. Like that's kind of wild to me, and like it could really be anybody's prize pool or win at the end of this tournament.
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of other games going, but Team Liquid's probably sitting there going like, well, like at least we got trophies in like some good games. Right, like they got Dota, they got silver and Dota over Team Falcons because Team Falcons only has bronze, right? And League is a better game than Honor of Kings for sure. Stuff like that, but they didn't really do too well. Like Liquid didn't perform in Apex Legends where Team Falcons did. They got silver, so like that's a good chunk of points right there. That's like 500 something points difference just from one game.
A little bit of spoilers for our recap of what's happened in Apex, but if you've already seen it, you might have already been spoiled. But you're absolutely right. Like, it's going to be interesting to see which teams coming forward with the different games, which games matter more. Here's a list of all the games that Team Falcons is competing in, which I think is a big thing to note because you can just be a one trick and just have one team competing in one game. But like Team Falcons is almost to the end of their little reign here. Or what is it? No, okay, that's
what they played.
This is where they've placed. No, you're right. This is where they've placed.
Yeah, they've already played those ones, which is like crazy, right? When you think about it, like they've already participated in so much.
Well, I guess, taking what I was saying and kind of pivoting it a little bit, I think it's still true. They've already, like you said, they're already competed in so much. Dota, Free Fire, Apex, MLBB, like what other organization has this kind of representation across the board? We could take a look and see how Team Liquid is, but like by comparison, they've only got 6 games competed in, whilst Falcons this is like 10? Do some quick counting.
They have 20 games.
11.
That's how many games they're participating in. 20 games.
Right, so they might have hedged their bets pretty early for this part of the tournament. There's 11 of them already competed in. They've placed in 7 of them so far. So some good representation. So 7 out of 11, roughly 60 something percent. And then they have another 9 to go. And, those 9 games could be pretty substantial. We have a lot of big stuff happening like Fortnite and Street Fighter, which we'll talk about in a little bit later. But then you also have stuff like, what was it? Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but we already did Free Fire, we already did Warzones, we already did Dota. We're talking. So, sorry.
So I did just it's all good. I did just realize something. Team Liquid has no ability to take first place away from Team Falcons. They only have 3 more games that they're participating in. That's it. 3 games. If they win gold, they get 3,000 points. That's 4,500 points almost. Like there's no shot. Like there's no shot. There's still what is this? How many games did I say this was? I don't know. I know they have 20, but it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
11.
9,
They've
10,
competed
11.
in 11 already.
Yeah, 9 more games. They got triple the amount of games left to try to get like 1 gold. Right? Like one silver makes it so that Team Liquid does not take first place. And I could look at every other team that's participating if I really wanted to do this, but there's not. I already looked before. Not many are competing in 20 events, man. Like we noticed this before. Like Team Falcons has so many opportunities for those points.
Right. And like with those opportunities, they seem to be putting up, like they've gotten 2 golds, they've gotten 2 silvers and 3 bronzes so far. So like they're not just fielding teams for the heck of it. They're fielding teams that are placing. And can you say that about other organizations? They might have just, like I said, been ahead of the curve for this part of the Esports World Cup, which I think might be one of the more exciting parts of it. Maybe less so knowing that like they've got 9 more teams to go. They have a statistical lead that to overtake Team Liquid, which is their closest rival. But like in theory, you would need Gaming Gladiators to have 4 other games and place first in those 4 other games to even like compete with Team Falcons now. So they're a little bit ahead, well, not a little bit, they're a lot ahead with a lot to happen. And like, I think it is going to be a name of the game of quantity, like a quality quantity, where they are fielding a lot of teams, but those teams are going to be competitive. And like, are we going to see that from T1? I think T1's a one trick though with just League. So like bad random example.
Yeah, like T1 plays in all Riot games. So they have team tactics.
That's what I meant, man. T1's coming in. Teamfight Tactics is coming up, which is another kind of big one.
Tekken.
And Tekken, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the part we're gonna have to keep. That's the part we're going to have to keep an eye out for, how the teams are able to stand up, because right now Team Falcons is running away with it, but there is the possibility the rest of the games Team Falcons can shit the bed and somebody else places gold consistently perhaps. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Nick, if you were to give just a random dark horse guess, and maybe the same for our chatters out there, what kind of vibe or thinking, who would you be rooting for in this top 10 selection? We do have a crazy 5-way tie for 5th place here, but who would you want to see come out, if it's not even if on this list, of just who's competing to take over first place?
I want Team Liquid to stay at number 2, because I know they're not going to be able to take first, as I just found out and discussed. I just don't want them to drop to 4th or below. But I just looked. Team Falcon's probably just taking this.
Hey, Billy here. Wanted to take a quick minute to let you know a few different things. If you enjoyed the video so far, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out, and it tells the algorithm to share it with more people. You can find the Esports Meta live every week on Twitch and YouTube. It's where we film the podcast or hang out, play games, and chat. If social media is more your vibe, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or Twitter if you use Threads. Does anybody use Threads? This is a video game community that's excited to talk about esports, so jump into the conversation. Of course, you can find more videos like this here on YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button right there or there. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the show.
Like I just looked for more teams that had more games to play, and unfortunately, tears come to my eye. No one's beating Team Falcons. They're taking that prize pool.
It's an interesting strategy that's panned out. Who knows if it's on purpose or by accident, or if Team Falcons just is one of the largest organizations internationally, one of the organizations that it's affiliated with the esports scene in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, which has its roots for EWC, so that could probably be a big reason why they kind of knew what was coming, knew what to expect, and were able to kind of show the way. Now that other teams can kind of catch on that the prize pools are there, we might see an organization sort of led competition, especially with the Olympics picking up esports as well. We're definitely into Olympics fever right now, but I'm kind of at a loss of words beyond that. It's basically a race to see who can catch up to Team Falcons or who's going to fight for second and third place, really.
Yeah, no, the second and third place will be nicely competitive. And that's where we got to look, so, probably wishful thinking if anybody thinks they're going to take first place away from Team Falcons.
Right. And like you said, it might just be a statistical impossibility at this point, but we'll keep you updated. So stay tuned to us. Keep us, subscribed, liked, all the internet things. Chime in your thoughts. Which team do you want to see maybe take second or overtake maybe one day, if not this day, Team Falcons? But